Evenant, Big Jar, back again with you. This time we're going to be doing effects. Why not do some risers in Serum? Let's see what this sound's going to sound like. Okay, so first things first, we've got ourselves designing on an E1. Okay, and it's going to be a 4-measure note. So we're going to go into our Serum. Remember, this glue compressor is just catching the peaks. I'm going to go into our Serum and let's get designing. So the first thing we want to do is create that pitch up. So we'll go right to LFO1. We'll pull this down for a little bit of a dramatic curve. We're going to want it to be on envelope and definitely down to 4 bars since that's what we set it to. We'll head over to our matrix, grab our LFO1 here, and we're going to go to Global Master Tune. We've done this before. I'm going to double click this, go 24 because I want to go 2 octaves this time, and semitones. And there we go. Remember, that's going to be 19, and that's why we do the semitones thing, right? The ST. Great. So let's hear how this sounds now. Awesome. Just what we wanted. So that's a little boring, obviously. So let's give it a little bit of a pulse. Let's head over to LFO2, and I'm going to do this in a specific way, and you'll see why in a second. I'm going to do it upside down, and we'll make a little bit of a curve like that. And I'm going to take this guy. Well, first off, I'm going to bring my volume all the way up. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to pull it back. So now we have, well, if I make sure I'm on trigger and 1/4 note, here we go. Awesome. So let's go ahead and make sure we could do that. So we'll start off at the 1/4 note here, and awesome. So this will be our speed. Okay. I don't know why I need these to be capital letters. And then the reason I did this upside down is so I can go over here to my matrix again. And what if we, choose? Remember how I said I was going to make this? So one of my plans is to make this kind of an interchangeable riser situation for you. So I want us to make one riser kind of preset that is very tweakable. So what if we decide that we don't want this pulse? You know what I mean? So we can go back into the matrix. Over here is where it's doing its pulsing. And the reason we did it upside down is so I can go here, add macro 2 to this. And what this is going to do, it's actually going to turn that down. So watch this. So if we don't even want the pulse, then you just keep it down like this. So this will be pulse on off. Now if this is, actually I guess I should have done it off on, right? So off. On. Cool. So now if it's this way, it's off, on, and then once it's on, you can engage the speed. So already we're really looking good here. We've got very usable and playable kind of a riser already, but we can still go further. Okay, so before we move on to something else, let's go ahead and give ourselves some options. So analog, we'll go to basic shapes. And now if we click here, you can tell that we've got ourselves a selection of different waveforms, and they'll all sound different rising. Awesome. Great. Let's go ahead and do something else pretty cool here that we haven't done yet, is this mod thing right here. This is going to be our mod wheel here, right? And we haven't used it yet. Not doing anything. So if we take it, I could add it to, let's say the unison, but we could add it to the detune, right? So let's start it down here at the bottom. And I don't want to detune all the way up, but let me pull this over here. So this, it doesn't visibly show it, but it's a little bit over what I want now, so I'm going to pull it back. And you know what? To get that wider, we'll go over here into super saw mode. Remember that? Perfect, love that. Great, so with the mod wheel up, we get this unison. With it down, then that goes away. Cool, and we'll bring this back and back so it doesn't start in different spots. It'll start the same every time now. Amazing, cool. So let's do the same thing to this guy, the exact same thing. So we'll go over here, analog, basic shapes, you know, we'll do the same thing here in sense, well, we'll leave this maybe the way it is, and we'll go here and put it up an octave, and good. Okay, but also we need to bring our LFO1, then that's already on our global pitch, so that's good, but this needs to be over here. We decide that. And let's go 2 octaves up. Let's see what that sounds like. Very cool. All right, so dope. Okay, we got that happening. Let's bring this guy to the show. So same deal, take this over here, pulling it back, and now we're gonna have some noise moving. And remember, the global pitch is on, so we're still good. We don't have to mess with this pitch, I think. Let's double check that. Yep, we're good. So we could do really any one of these you like. I like air can, I guess, but it doesn't matter. But you know, I like to over here add a little bit to the pan. Just gives it a little bit more of a believable kind of motion. Wicked. And this will still time up with everything here as well. Great. Let's mix everything together. Oh wait, you know what? I think we forgot to. We got to add these modulators to these guys as well. So over here on the matrix, remember how we went to volume A? Well, we'll do the same thing here. Same deal. Macro 2 to volume B. And noise level right here. Macro 2 to noise level. And now we'll get that same uniform. Dope. And the same thing here. Okay, looking really good. Let's make sure we got it on mono to save some CPU. And that's looking real good. Why not give ourselves an option for a low one? Yeah, let's do something like this where it's like, you know, we got this guy pulsing up with us too, if we want. This guy is looking pretty wicked. So the next thing we're going to do is maybe add a little bit of shape. I think this is a little bit harsh on my ears. This guy right here. So what I want to do is maybe just add a little bit of filter just on this one. That's nice. Good, I like that. Just cuts off a little bit of that piercingness here, the 2 octaves up. And obviously we want to give ourselves a little bit of effects, so we'll bring the size down here, up here. Let's play this here a little bit. Cool, cool. Let's add a little bit of, let's try something like, I don't know, downsampling. I like downsampling. Let's see what else we got. I like that a lot. Let's do like something like a rip up kind of thing here. Let's see what we got. Let's try this guy. We'll kind of have him kind of moving right up, but good. Adds a little bit of dirt to it. Let's see about. Cool. So maybe we add a little bit of phaser, and a cool thing about this is taking the rate down and really everything down. That sounds like something I'd like to add this guy on. Nice, little bit of tension there. This is a cool thing I think we talked about before. If we keep this full on open and bring this down to link them obviously, and then bring this down to a low, we get this metallic-y kind of sound. And that could be something that we could turn off and on. So if we want it, that's great. You know, something that you can add. So this will be our metallic, our metal sound. Okay. And then finally, I'd like to add a little bit of reverb to the guy here. And we'll do this the same way. I like to add it in. And sometimes you add a lot, right? So that'll be your verb, and you can add as much as you want. Let's do a little bit of EQing at the end. We'll put it above the reverb. I'm sorry, EQing. We'll leave the EQing at the end. The compressor will go on the other side of the reverb. Cool. Actually, we are compressing the reverb, aren't we? There we go. Remember, you can move these if you want to adjust the little less highs. And the thought behind this is I want it to close fast enough to get the end of the tail, but keep open so I don't mess the transient up. Awesome. And then finally, I'll just take off a little bit of the super low. And maybe I'll just push up on the highs a little bit just to brighten the guy up. So that's great. So now we've got this looking really nice when we're using a lot. So what if we kind of dial it in a little bit? This guy looks like he's still pulsing. Just to pay attention to the details, we're going to go to our sub level now and pop the macro 2 on that. But I think I'm going to take the macro 2 off the noise level. That way the noise level just stays flat. Or I mean pulses while the other one stays fat. Nice. So you could really combine this in a lot of different ways. And obviously you could change your oscillators to something other than, anything that you want. You could also change your your sample to anything that you want. So as always, we're going to go up here to the little save sign into Evenant, and we will make ourselves a new folder, call this effects. Okay, and in here, we will make this effects, and this will be riser 1. Amazing. So great, guys. I had a fun time making this sound. I hope you guys enjoyed making it, and I hope you learned something. I'll catch you on the next one. Good.